At this time, I want to provide what I believe can be a few tips that can help young couples get that financial boost or maybe start a financial plan that they can build upon for their future. Now, we understand there's a lot of chatter about making a large income, making 6-digit figures, things of that nature. But the reality is, especially for people starting out, that's not really possible a lot of times. Your first job is not usually paying you at that level unless you're doing a very professional job like a doctor or a lawyer. But that doesn't mean that you can't use the money that you have and use it in a strategic way to build yourself a really nice nest egg to start off on, so that you can progress in a wonderful way and in a wonderful fashion to the goals that you want to set. Now, this first tip is one that I think can really benefit young married couples and really help them to set up something as they progress in life that will be very beneficial. And I want you all to look into this because I really think this is very important, especially if you're young. You can do it as an individual, but it really benefits married couples as well. The first tip I want to talk about is going to be compound interest. Compound interest is something that builds up over time. It's interest, but it's interest that compounds. And the reason why I wanted to make this first is because as I was told about it, they say the best way to take advantage of compound interest is to use time. As it was explained to me, if you use an instrument that allows you to leverage compound interest and you start using it at 35 years old, it's going to work and it can work very well for you. But if you started at 20 or 25 years old, you have a 10 or 15 year window of time that you could have used to basically compound more money, compound more over that amount of time. So I wanted to make this first because I want to make sure that my younger couples or just young people, period, look into this. You can do it as an individual, but to me, what would be better than you and your mate getting married and basically deciding to make this financial investment together? Therefore, you could possibly put twice as much into it and of course get twice as much out of it once you do have to use it. Second thing I wanted to bring out was something that I was told about years ago in college. If you are a young married couple or you're looking to get married and you're both working, and let's just say one of you makes more than the other, doesn't have to be a substantial amount more, then this could be a concept that works for you as far as being able to help you build up a nest egg for yourselves. Basically, this concept is, and I have to use an example, let's just say one person makes about $60,000 a year and the other makes about 40. But if you are willing to sacrifice, let's just say for 2 years or 3 years, and let's say live in a modest area, do some things to kind of trim down. One of the things you can take advantage of is using one of your incomes, the highest, and basically living off that income and then taking the lower income and banking it. Now, what that would mean is taking that $40,000 income and saying, hey, we're going to take every dollar of this and we're going to put this in the bank to save it or invest it, whatever you would want to do with it. Another concept that I definitely would want to share with you if you don't already know this is the concept of actually buying an existing business. Oftentimes, when you start a business from scratch, most of those businesses fail within the first 3 years. It's very hard to start it from scratch because there's so many things that you have to take into account. What I think we overlook, especially in our community, is the power of possibly purchasing a business that is already existing, that already has a foundation, already doing well. Now, mind you, I understand there will be the challenge of paying for it, but combined with another concept that I just mentioned, you could possibly use that as a way or a means to pay for the business itself, which was the concept of living off one income and banking the other income. Also, you can look into buying into a franchise. Some franchises are very comfortable to buy into. As opposed to starting a business from scratch, the first thing that comes to mind is you want to buy a business that's doing well. It's profitable. From the very beginning, if you buy this business, you're buying a business that's already generating a profit. Number two, typically someone is selling this business, and the person that's selling this business has a lot of knowledge and expertise that they can share with you. And a footnote here, please make sure that you have that person give you some form of knowledge transfer. You must make sure that this person does share with you as much knowledge about the business as they possibly can so that you can be successful. That knowledge transfer is going to be invaluable. It could be all of the mistakes that they made and how to avoid those, coupled with your knowledge of maybe some things you can do now to take advantage of the business that they didn't even think about. You combine those two things, you can not only have a profitable business, but see the profits jump because you're coming in with new and fresh ideas that wasn't done before. I just wanted to give you a few reasons as to why it is a great benefit to actually purchase a existing business. If it is a concept or a business that someone out here is doing, 9 times out of 10, someone is selling a business like that somewhere. So I just wanted to make sure that I just gave a few reasons. I'm a huge advocate, and I want to spread the word about us really getting back to kind of the old school way of doing things, and that is getting married and getting married young. If you have a positive outlook, a positive mind state, and you have a positive plan, and you have God on your side, you can have that wonderful marriage, and it can work for many, many years. You can raise your kids in that wonderful marriage. You can show them hard work as well as possibly entrepreneurship if that's something you want to do, and build a platform for them so they will have really broad and wide shoulders that they can stand on in order for them to take off and do even greater things.